It's time to get Jesus-y. Hello ladies and welcome back to my channel. I'm David, you're David, we're all David, and welcome back to Dismantling Hate, the series where we look at some hateful online rhetoric. And today, honeys, we are back with the religion. Yes, I said it, specifically Catholicism.
Hey, heard my name.
So today we are going to look at a YouTube channel called I Am Catholic. Let's go ahead and read the description here. It says, a rising Catholic media network featuring hundreds of creators, taking its name from the two patrons of the internet? Patrons of the internet? You're telling me the Bible knew about the... Anyway, I was going to say you don't pull the strings on this or it all falls apart, but we're actually, the whole premise of the video you're watching here is to pull the strings, so stay tuned for that. Is an apostolate that seeks to connect and sponsor the next generation of Catholic creators, launching a new Catholic renaissance. Come on, Beyonce. The home of a popular podcast, we create unique videos, host unique events, and feature some of today's best speakers, including Father. Weird. Mike Schmitz. God, that's a bad name. Bishop Robert Barron, Scott Hahn, and more. The goal of our media is to synthesize the good things about the age of the internet, namely the ability for everyone to have a voice and the fact that more people than ever before can be involved in content creation with the good things about how the former age of media, such as curated and well-produced content. We are a true multimedia apostolate having branches of video, writing, and music. May God use this apostolate for good and for evangelization. Amen. May God bless you. Christian, Catholic, Jesus, and then a slew of links that we don't care about. Now, babies, if this is the first time you're seeing my beef jerky face, hi, my name is David. This is Dismantling Hate. I do not want you to go to the profiles of any of the creators that we come across in these videos because I do not want us to be participating in this culture of hate that we are trying so desperately to dismantle, not only on this channel, but around the entire world. In the other religious videos that I posted on my channel, I've had a few comments of people saying like, you just hate religion and that you shouldn't be like tearing down other people's beliefs and this and that. And I think religion on the whole is fine, but organized religion, monetized religion, structured religion, all of that I think is nonsense. And especially when it is taking advantage of the sensitivities of people in order to get their money or perpetuate a certain mindset or really do anything on a group kind of level, then I think religion is disgusting and deserves being joked at. You can believe in your fictional book. I think that's fine. You should have the rights to do so. But when your fictional beliefs start to influence the way that you think other people should behave, then that's gross. That's a red flag, and that's what we're here to dismantle. So the first video that we're going to look at is Father. FR means father. Now, we know that. I'm paying attention. Father Mike, can Catholics go to LGBT weddings? In 3 minutes and 44 seconds, he's going to tell us. What do you think the answer is? Let me know in the comments right now. What do you think the answer is? I think he's going to say like, yes, you can go, but you have to like yell a slur at them when they have their first kiss or something. Like it's going to be yes and. That's my guess here. So take a deep breath with me right now. It'll be okay. It's going to be okay because we're going to do it together.
Be clear. What I mean about be clear is this. I need to be crystal clear on what the church's teaching is in this regard. I need to be crystal clear on what the church's teaching is in this regard. And I need to be crystal clear on why the church teaches what she teaches in this regard. Here's why. Here's why I need to be clear. Because if I'm not clear, if I don't fully understand, a number of things are going to happen. If I'm not clear, I will end up being brittle where I could be flexible. If I don't know really what the church teaches, I'm going to make up all these rules that I bet it's probably against church teaching for X, Y, and Z.
It's really interesting because it's kind of like the cadence of saying nothing. It's like, I am implying by the tone of my speech that I'm saying something and I'm pausing at the appropriate times. But effectively, I'm not saying anything of substance. And I've said the term crystal clear about 47,000 friggin' times. The white square here on the neckline, that's so camp. That's camp. That's drag, Mary. Okay,
If I don't know why the church teaches it, I will end up make up all these rules in my head of like, here's where I can't go, here's what I can do. For example, when it comes to being clear, why would I say that it's against our faith to attend a same-sex wedding? Well, because of this. Because we believe that a wedding is not something people simply watch. Because you never watch Mass. You don't just go to Mass and watch Mass. You're an active participant in Mass.
God. So he's gonna say no? Is that where this is heading? You can't go to their wedding because you then have to participate in gay sex? You know, every gay wedding that I've been to. So no, that's a joke. That's a joke because this channel, this video is not only educational, it is comedic. So don't think that I legitimately mean that. I'm being funny. God, that light is pulling my leg hair. I'm being funny because it's a coping mechanism for listening to this friggin' garbage. So get it together. Me, I don't know, not you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks. Keep watching.
Up at a mass, you are participating in the mass. If you show up at a wedding, you are not just watching the wedding, you're a witness to the wedding. You're participating in the wedding. You're not just a passive observer. We believe, our theology is, you're a part of that event. You're not just watching, you're a witness. And so you're like, no, I'm against it.
Witness is a great album by Katy Perry, and I don't care what anyone says. Love that album.
Personally, but I want to be there to support them. So if you show up, what you would have to do, I want to make it clear, I'm not here to endorse what you're doing, but I want to support Judy and Jane. If you really want to do that, that would mean you have to show up and then to let everyone know why you're there and what you're opposed to. And that's just rude. That's not good manners. Going to everyone, hi, I'm here for Judy because I like her a lot, but I don't endorse her wedding with Jill. Like, no, don't do that. Rather than, here's the thing.
There's a lot of empty seats in there and a lot of white people. I mean, they're all turned the other way, but this is giving white people vibes hard.
Why would I not be allowed?
There's probably non-white people in the crowd, but I don't know.
To attend a same-sex wedding? Because weddings you witness. You're a part of it actively. So, Father, can I go to the reception afterwards? It's a prudential decision, but there are some cases when you could say, yeah, I would do that. It's a prudential decision. How's it different? Well, unless I know the difference between the wedding and the reception.
Yeah, what if it's in the same room? Are you still going to be damned to eternal damnation? That was redundant, but...
Unless I'm clear, be clear. Remember, unless I'm clear on the difference between a wedding and
yeah, this has been very clear. If anything has been served, it's clarity. Don't you agree?
Reception, I will not be able to know the difference here. But if I do know the difference, then I can say there are some cases when it might be permissible to go to a wedding reception.
It's only okay if one of the lesbians is really butch.
I have a brother priest, and his sister had a same-sex wedding. And the whole family, they're very devout Catholic, and they're like, we can't go to the wedding, but they're like, but we're going to go to the reception because we know...
That's crazy to turn your back on somebody like that on such an important day, presumably for them because of your faith. What kind of faith limits you like that? It's so gross. It doesn't make sense. You're telling me your mystical figure in the sky is telling you that because these two people are the same sex, they can't get married, and you have to preclude yourself from being a part of somebody's really important event. It's so limiting. It's mind control. It's gross. It's so gross. Ugh.
Important to you. We're going to go to the reception, and here we are, here for you, because it's a big day for you. You know, by our absence at the wedding, where we stand. So we don't have to make a big deal about it now that we're here at the reception.
Incorrect. If my family didn't come to the wedding and they were like skirting their religious obligations by like coming to the reception after, so like circumventing their eternal damnation by only attending what their nonsense priest told them was okay, you're not coming. You're not coming. Get out of here. In fact, I wouldn't keep family members like that around. I just wouldn't. Every family member that I'm in contact with right now would be exceedingly happy to come to my wedding and reception if I was marrying somebody of the same sex. But I'm non-binary, so they would have to be another non-binary person. But these people don't believe in that in the same way that I don't believe in Sky Daddy. Okay.
We're just here because we love our daughter, because we love our sister. That's not the same thing as endorsing and witnessing the wedding. But unless I'm clear, I will be brittle where I could possibly be flexible. I don't know if that makes sense, but again, here's where it gets kind of muddy. But again, let's go back.
Here's where it gets kind of muddy? How is he going to wrap this up? There's 10 seconds left in this video.
Be common sense. It's all going to be common sense when it comes down to it, right here. So I need to be clear. I need to know.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're not clear. Okay, this is interesting because I really like the short form content of this all because I don't want to sit down and watch 12 years or something. So let's see if something else can tickle our fancy here. Okay, this one here says, Bishop Barron sets the crowd on fire with this line, and it's 1 minute and 54 seconds. Get out your fire extinguishers. We're about to be set on fire, babes. Sorry, can you speak up? Jesus can't hear you. Let me find the captions. Just a second. All right.
What'll make you happy is finding your mission and doing it. Go going in haste, move, become in some way, and look, it's different for every one of us, because the Lord gave us distinctive gifts and a distinctive experience and background. We're meant to carry His love into the world in some distinctive way. But when you find that, you found the treasure buried in the field. When you find that, you found the pearl of great price. And so do it. Sell it.
Does anybody know what's being said here? It's just this pejorative, infantilized glitter speak in place of actual morality. You're saying nothing. You're saying nothing.
Anything else you got, and buy that. One last thing, everybody.
One last thing. How about one thing? How about a first thing? How about anything?
Our culture puts such a premium now on safety, doesn't it? Safe spaces and keeping us safe and on being threatened.
Yeah, back when I was a kid, you could do that. What? Sir, what?
Threatening my safety. Well, look, I get it. We all want
Oh, liberal snowflakes feeling unsafe. That's what it is. I got it.
It's a value. But can I suggest to you that a religion that puts before our eyes a man pinned to a cross is not a religion putting a high priority on safety.
They're clapping for that. Because Jesus wasn't safe. Even Jesus wasn't safe. So why do you expect to feel safe? Why do you want to make people feel like feeling safe is bad and that that's a luxury and that that's a false premium? How does that make sense? Like, I feel like I have brain rot from watching all this nonsense, but these sheeple must have brain rot as well, because why are we clapping? Or it's Bishop Barron's friend who's like starting the applause from the front row like I do with my friends who are drag queens. Anyway, it's essentially the exact same thing. Oh yeah, I'm gorgeous. I don't think I said anything about that in this video. Anyway, you already knew that. Okay, finish it up. Well, that's a lot of clapping.
The saints don't strike me as people that were really big on safety. Rather find your mission. Let Christ come to life in you, set your heart on fire, and then you'll know who you are. Do your mission, you'll find joy, and you'll transfigure the world. God bless you all.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. It makes about as much sense as everything else that's going on here. Okay, well, let's see what's here next. All right, so the next one says the most common way demons sneak into people. Well, we're going to learn today. Okay, so buckle up because Father Rippinger is about to tell us how demons sneak inside us. Okay, I'm sat.
If you're leading a good Catholic life, going to Mass on a regular basis, going to confession, saying your prayers, you know.
Say your prayers, Jesus knows. Speaking of confession, okay, so I was raised kind of like peripherally in the Catholic Church. 2 generations above me, they were completely sold in Catholicism. 1 generation above me, they were about half sold in Catholicism. So I could tell that they wanted me to participate and like believe, but I could sense that they weren't really bought into it, so I never bought into it at all. Anyway, this isn't really about me, but this is my personal anecdote, and that's why you're here, for my dazzling personality and storytelling skills. So, okay, I remember when I went through confession for the first time, and I didn't know what to say. I wasn't comfortable actually saying anything that I did wrong, because I was like, I don't know what I've done wrong, what I can say to this man. And I remember making up a story that I had stole something to tell to the priest in order for him to like absolve me of it. And I remember feeling that was weird. And anyway, don't lie to priests. I mean, don't lie to priests any more or less than you would anybody else. I don't know. He's making me really uncomfortable, and it's not the ad hominem fallacy. Anyway, okay.
Church's laws, etc., and you're not committing mortal sin, your odds of getting diabolically influenced are pretty slim. The one pattern that we have parsed out in the last year, and it had primarily to do with our protocol, which I didn't put in here, that's only because there's another book coming out by Liber Christo, who we're associated with, who's going to be including that in theirs. And then also there's the book that Father Heilman put out, which actually contains a kind of a...
He makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know if it's his face, his facial expressions, the camera angle, well, it's also what he's saying is objectively kind of stupid. But yeah, it's just, he's making me very uncomfortable. Like I can feel it.
Structured approach to the protocol, even though it doesn't pertain to the protocol itself. But what we found is the people who follow the protocol that have diabolic obsession In 90% of the cases, they don't even have to see a priest to get rid of the diabolic obsession.
What does that even mean? And 90%, like, this sounds like a clinical study, and I highly doubt that you've done that. Father Rippinger.
Just follow the protocol and it blows it out. So what we're discovering is that one of the elements that is missing from modern Catholic life, that even if they're leading a generally good Catholic life, the one element that's missing is discipline, spiritual discipline. They're not.
Kylie, prep the shame kit. Here we go. Get ready to feel bad about everything that you do.
Getting up on a regular basis, saying their prayers on a consistent time. They're not following a regimen. They're not doing certain things. And so and they're not, fasting on regular intervals and things like that. And so as a result of that lack of
Really? Fasting is going to get you kicked out? Not fasting on regular intervals is going to get you kicked out of heaven? That is so asinine. No sky daddy. Like, oh, God.
that it seems to be the thing that the demons keep getting their foot in the door on. So if people become
demons are getting inside of you because you're not fasting in regular intervals. Are you taking notes? You should be taking notes.
Disciplined in their spiritual life, and that's the thing that Father Hyland's book is kind of oriented towards, getting people back to a discipline. If they lead a very disciplined life, then they're simply not going to have this problem. This is a key point because I think it's actually on Sensus Fidelium. There was a time where I made the observation in a homily that if you just follow all of the Catholic laws of what was required for a layman.
His collar looks wrong. You think it's like that on purpose, or he doesn't have enough discipline to put it on correctly? I said it.
And that basically there was no virtue you did not develop. But that's actually not true now, because the disciplines have been so lax, and that those disciplines in the past that would develop the virtues that hinge upon discipline would have been developed. And I think that's one of the
I'm sorry. Do you know what this mushmouth is saying to us right now? Because I don't.
It's less attacking. And so I think that people, that's why I would encourage people to, like this Lent or what have you, follow the church's disciplines in the past, because that will give you that discipline in order to kind of climb out of any kind of a problem you have and keep you immune. We're also finding that people that do this discipline on a regular basis, especially our assistants who sit in on a session, or our case manager who deals with a lot of this stuff with people, he follows the protocol very.
It sounds like therapy. That's what this sounds like. And these people are not clinically licensed or educated enough to be providing any therapeutic guidance. And it's deceptive, it's manipulative, it's gross.
Himself, and as a result of that, they just don't have the attacks.
Crazy town boots. Okay, we got time for one more. Let's see. You know what? Let's end with this. Dr. Brant Petra, The Biblical Secret to Joy. Okay, you've been feeling sad. You've been feeling like you don't have enough joy in your life. Well, don't worry. Dr. Brant Petra is here to tell you in 5 minutes or less how you can. I got nothing, Mary. It's been a long day and it hasn't even started yet. Okay, give me some joy, Bob.
Rejoice in the Lord when things are going.
It's already his voice. I can't.
It's in Philippians chapter 4, verse 4 and following, where Paul exhorts the Philippians to have joy. And he says to them, rejoice in the Lord when things are going well. Oh, wait, never mind. Rejoice in the Lord.
Yeah, it's a little Freudian slip there. God, his voice is insufferable. And now that you think about it, his doctorate is probably from a Bible college. I don't think I can handle this. Let's do the 10 more seconds.
What? Always. Again, I say, rejoice. Let all men know your forbearance. The Lord is at hand. Have no anxiety about anything, but in everything.
Just don't be anxious about stuff. It's your fault. It's your fault you don't have enough joy.
Prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And then the very famous verse, and the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will keep your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you be happy. Ugh, okay. Let's have a look at this one. It says, every knee shall bow.
And what is God the Father's response to Jesus' willingness to go into the depths of human shame and human suffering? Exaltation, resurrection, ascension, right? So Paul says in the next verses,
I can't. I literally can't with this. We gotta, oh God, it's just one mess after another. I can't take any more of that. Let's finish how we started with Father Mike, and it's just called I Have Failed. 2 minutes, 44 seconds. I can handle this. We can do this together. We're gonna do it together, so we'll be okay.
This couple came up and said, it's our 29th wedding anniversary. Can we, today, can we renew our wedding vows? I'm like, that's great. Yeah, number 29, very special. But what happened with them was what happens with all these couples in Cana. No, not every couple, but many of them. As they come before each other and they're holding each other's hands and they're repeating their vows. One of the things I've noticed is that it is incredibly rare that they actually look at each other when they say their vows.
Because they're awkward and filled with shame because of your religion.
Different, because I do a lot of weddings, and at weddings, I mean, they are just right in each other's eyes. I mean, like they're like, yes, gazing, like this is it. We're saying this, I, Jack, take you, Jill. You know, I, Jill, take you, Jack. But then when they're renewing their
Come on, Jack and Jill, where's your bucket of water?
It's, I, Jack, do this, Jill, to Jill. I, Jill, do the Jack. And
these congregations must just be starving for some good comedy because they're laughing at his jokes that aren't even jokes.
And that doesn't shock me, and it also doesn't, I don't think negatively about that, because I guess last month, like a lot of the priests, had my ordination anniversary. And when people make a big deal about it, I hate it. I hate when people make a big deal about my anniversary, because when it gets brought up, all I can think about is how I failed. Hey, congratulations, happy anniversary. All I can think about is all of the times that I've failed to be the priest that I want to be.
Oh, God. Like, that's valid. That's valid, and that's fine. But why wouldn't we work on that in therapy? The problem, we can't go to therapy because you start pulling at the strings of religious affiliation, specifically being in the priesthood. It's just,
that I know God called me to be. I think this is the same reason why these couples, as they're holding each other's hands, they don't look each other in the eyes. Because on their wedding day, it's like, yes, I promise all these things. And now, here we are, 5 years later, 10 years later, 29 years later.
Look, you can make mistakes. You can make mistakes and still be proud of yourself. That's the problem with Catholicism and so much religion and garbage in general, is that it's so shame-built. It's shame used as a behavior control tactic. You can make mistakes and still be a good person. You can. You can make mistakes and still be proud of what you have done, not necessarily under this religious kind of umbrella, but I think that's really gross, and that's a sad existence.
I'm going to say the same words, but you know the truth now. And I want to do the same. I want to honor you and love you and all these things.
It's just like building an amount of unrealistic expectations to place upon people, and then they just feel shame so much. I hate shame. Somebody get me Brene Brown up in here, because this Father Mike needs some help.
Now know the truth. Yes, on our wedding day, you knew that I was a broken person. On our wedding day, I knew you were a broken person. But now we really know in which ways we're broken people. And it's sometimes hard to look each other in the eye and say, okay,
like this idea of a broken person, like it's not necessarily participating only in the deficit model, but this idea of a broken person kind of stands to reason that you could have a whole person. God, there is no sense of wholeness. You will never be a perfect, complete human being, but in those same terms, you are that right now. You are a perfect, complete human being right now, as you are in this moment, on this day. Come as you are. Do not feel shame about it, because honestly, shame doesn't get you anywhere. We see it in the research. Shame can be motivating in the moment, but long-term success is not encouraged through shame. But long-term success is not the goal of religion. Short-term monetization is the goal of religion. Maybe not necessarily short-term, but monetization, I believe, is the goal of organized religion like this.
I try so hard and I just fail so much. And so one of the things we can do is we can focus more on our failure than we can on the Lord. I see, a lot of times we say, focus more on our failure than we do on our victories. That's not the point. Focus more on our failures than we do on the Lord.
Is he saying to do that or to not do that? Should we be focusing on our failures on the Lord? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It makes about as just much a sense of everything else that's been happening here. So babies, thank you so much for spending this unbearable amount of time with me here. I hope I made it a little more enjoyable for you. So if you like the sound of my voice, consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know what you thought in the comments. You know, are you religious? Did you hate watch this? It doesn't matter to me. A view is a view. Hi, bestie. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you're going to be hateful and gross because I have makeup on and a beard and a deep voice, make sure it's a good one so I can screenshot it and put it into my reading mean comments video that I'm going to film here in a few days, because if there's going to be any hate, I'm going to what? Monetize it. Boom! Yeah, so like the video if you like the video. If you're interested in more from me, I have a huge Dismantling Hate playlist. This is episode, 37, something like that. I have a podcast, D-Talk with David Day, that you can listen to on Spotify, watch on YouTube, do all the things. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm very active on all of those platforms. So thank you so much again for spending this time with me. I love you, babes, and until the next one, goodbye.